Today is Tuesday, August the 13th, 2019. You're listening to the Geelong Region Soccer News Nightly Bulletin, powered by Community Sports Media Services. Tonight's bulletin is proudly brought to you by WSM, Western Sheet Metal. First-class resources, capabilities and experiences. This is what's making news headlines on the Geelong region football scene. In major news that has shook the foundations of Stead Park, senior team coach Dom Barba is no longer in charge of the senior men's NPL 2 side. Stay tuned and we will tell you who his replacement will be for the remaining 4 games. SURFSIDE Waves have moved to within 2 points of Geelong Region men's Divvy 1 leaders Barwon following last weekend's rain-affected round of matches. Find out who will be featured in tonight's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show on FNR Football Nation Radio, kicking off at 8 p.m. And finally, Geelong Rangers Soccer Club is running a raffle for one of its senior players, Maxwell Muscat, in his quest to raise money to represent Australia at the Deaf Games in Hong Kong later this year. But first up, here's a word from this week's main sponsor. WSM is a multi-service company delivering optimum solutions across the commercial, industrial and domestic markets. Having been around for more than 25 years, we have several names, including Western Sheet Metal, Insulation and Asbestos Removal. In those 25 years, we have developed various divisions based on the needs of our own internal operations and the services that are required to undertake minor to major projects, such as sheet metal, insulation, asbestos removal, plumbing and scaffolding. But at WSM, we only have one objective: to provide safe and productive outcomes with each job being executed in accordance with the most professional of standards. Contact us on 9399 9409. WSM, first-class resources, capabilities and experiences. In major news that has shook the very foundations at Stead Park, Geelong Soccer Club senior men's coach Dom Barba is no longer in charge of the NPL 2 side. Earlier today, the Geelong Region News spoke to the club's football director Steve Janoski, who confirmed that the coach and the club had parted ways by mutual consent yesterday. Janoski later released an official statement to the Geelong Region Soccer News in which he said the following. Dom called President Mick and I into a meeting on Saturday night after the game to express concern about a number of football matters as well as his hectic personal work life. He offered to step down on the basis we could find a solution to try to salvage our season in the remaining 4 weeks. We discussed different options and scenarios, and yesterday morning we arrived at the decision to accept his resignation and give assistant coach Gabriel Marquez the reins for the remainder of the season. Club legend and former captain Izzy Erdogan and current junior coach Kieran Robertson have agreed to come on board as assistant coaches in the new structure. We're rolling the dice now with 4 games to go. Let's strap ourselves in and see what happens. That was an official statement prepared by Geelong SC football director Steve Janoski earlier today. SURFSIDE Waves, meanwhile, have moved to within 2 points of Geelong Region Men's Division 1 league leaders Barwon following last weekend's rain-affected round 15 of the local competition. With Barwon's game against FC Leopold washed out, as was the 4th place Geelong Rangers versus 7th place Drysdale match, SURFSIDE Waves took full advantage by overcoming Deakin Ducks 5-3 in a high-scoring thriller at Deakin University on Sunday. With just 3 games remaining before the playoffs, Waves coach Pablo Muitza is confident his Waves can still challenge for the league title.
Just against Deakin on Sunday, we went down 1-0 early, ended up 3-1 at half-time, 5-3 end result. As always, a great entertaining game against Deakin University.
That was SURFSIDE Waves coach Pablo Muitza. He will be joining us tonight on the Geelong Region Soccer Show on FNR Football Nation Radio as a special guest in the Change Room segment. Speaking of the SURFSIDE Waves, the Ocean Grove-based club is the focus of our Club Focus segment in tonight's episode of the Geelong Region Soccer Show on FNR Football Nation Radio. We will be chatting to President Mike Sutton and Craig Wright, the coaches coordinator at the club. Starting at 8 p.m, live on our Facebook page, Geelong Region Soccer News, we will also be joined via telephone hookup by one of the 15 finalists of this year's Viva Energy Club Legend of the Year award and the only football community nominee, FC Leopold's Ricky Skade. Join us tonight at 8 p.m. for the action-packed episode 17, proudly sponsored by Jai Thai Lara, which is reopening tomorrow in the Centreway, right in the heart of Lara. And finally, Geelong Rangers Soccer Club is running a raffle for one of its senior players, Maxwell Muscat, in his quest to raise money to represent Australia at the Deaf Games in Hong Kong later this year. Rangers want to make his dream come true with the special raffle. Tickets are just $5 each or 3 for $10. The raffle will be drawn on the 24th of August at 5 p.m. in the club rooms. Tickets are on sale at the club this Thursday night from Jill Bertucci. Tickets will also be on sale on Saturday, where they can be purchased from the bar or the canteen. Young Max, who appeared on the Geelong Region Soccer Show recently, when it was the Geelong Rangers themed episode on the 16th of July, has also set up a GoFundMe page with the aim of raising $4,000 to go to the trip. If you'd like to help out young Max, who is truly one of the nicest and most inspirational young men you'll ever meet, pop over to the GoFundMe page and search Maxwell Muscat. And now for the weather forecast for tomorrow, Wednesday the 14th of August. Areas of fog in the early morning, cloudy, very slight chance of rain, light winds becoming northerly, 15 to 25 kilometres per hour in the morning. A warmer top of 15 degrees, but the overnight low will still drop down to 7 degrees. And that was the news for tonight's edition of the Geelong Region Soccer News Nightly Bulletin, which is proudly sponsored by WSM, Western Sheet Metal. Is anything interesting happening at your club? Let us know. Send in your news tips. Drop us an email at communitysportsmedia@gmail.com or PM us at our Facebook page, Geelong Region Soccer News. Good night.